Hello, everybody. So I'm hoping that today I don't have connectivity issues. I tried to unplug my internet router a couple times. There's like a helicopter flying over right now. It was super loud. So anyways, I one exciting thing, I got a tripod finally, guys. I'm like so pumped about it. I just got it from Amazon today. So I was like, well, obviously I have to use this. And I was telling somebody earlier, like, I put on makeup today, so I mean, I really need to do a Facebook Live. But today, what I want to talk about is the concept of self-love, because there's a lot to it, and it can honestly have a pretty personal meaning for everyone too. So I want to talk about self-love, what it means to me, and some ideas for you. And then I want to talk about briefly how beauty is really a choice, right? And I think I'm going to start there because that was on, I don't know why, but it was on my mind. so, so beauty is a choice, right? It's not an opinion. It's not something that we get by going into a magazine, right, and like putting on makeup and stuff. Yeah, that's the beauty industry. I mean, it's part of it, but real true beauty comes from within. And I've realized over the last couple weeks, couple months, I don't know, probably forever really, that part of my core message, part of the core thing that I've always known and I've always felt, and I've always felt that more people should know and understand is that beauty is a choice, and you can choose to live in that choice, that feeling of beauty every day. If you tell yourself these stories like, well, I'm not beautiful, like this person said that I'm not beautiful, so I'm not beautiful, or this magazine said that I have to have like rose gold hair this, like, guys, I really want rose gold hair, by the way. Random. It's not up to anyone else to tell you that you are beautiful or not. That is your choice. And honestly, if you feel it inside, I guarantee you're gonna have somebody tell you, like, you look really good today, or like, you're so beautiful. It's a feeling. And I totally operate on the level and on the plane where your feelings emit energy. Other people pick up on that energy. We sense energy. Like, half of our communications aren't really verbal, right? It's energetic. It's nonverbal. And if you're living in that place where you just feel amazing and you feel beautiful, like nobody can bring you down, well, that's going to translate. That's what everybody else is going to see too. So, like, it's a choice. It's literally a choice. And I wanted to talk about self-love with this because I think that's a big part of it. And that's also kind of something that I've been working on over the last like year is like self-love and developing a deeper love for myself and being kind of like unapologetic about it, really. As women, especially, and as a mom, it's really hard sometimes. It's not hard. It's just pre-programmed into our brains. It's like hardwired that everything has to be hard, right? Um, so it's difficult sometimes though to find the time for yourself and to develop these self-love rituals and routines and things that you do to make yourself feel really good. And part of self-love is giving yourself permission to do that and allowing yourself to do that, allowing yourself like an extra 5 minutes, whether it be you have to wake up early to get that 5 minutes by yourself, like whatever it is that will make you feel like amazing, right? So when I wake up, I honestly sit in bed for about 5 minutes and I just meditate and think and just chill. Like, I can't just rush, start my day. And I used to do that. And I would be like so frazzled all day because I didn't allow myself that space to really like check in, tune in with myself, see what's up, see what I'm really feeling like that day. Like, even go over the dreams I had and be like, okay, what is this trying to tell me, right? Because a lot of times our dreams are pretty insightful into our subconscious mind. Whole nother topic. I'm not going to get on that one. So you really have to allow yourself that time with yourself. And for me specifically, that's a huge part of self-love, is letting myself sit and tune in. And especially when I first started my business, I would not give myself that time because I thought I had to push, 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 right? Like, got to keep going, got to do this, and I got to do this, and I've got this huge list to do. I don't have time to sit with myself. But it's like so it's not counterintuitive. It is counterintuitive that it works like that, but you are so much more powerful when you are in tune with yourself and when you are allowing yourself that space and when you are really listening to yourself. Self-love is about listening to yourself, right? I mean, honestly, it's just letting yourself be yourself. That is my interpretation of self-love. And it can be things like, I don't know, having like a coffee date with yourself once a week, once a day, whatever. Taking baths, like nobody thinks they have time for baths, but they're magical. Just little things like this. And even I wrote a newsletter. If you're not on my newsletter, you can go to kirstydempsey.com and there's like a little box right there. I'm going to be sending out like daily tips from now on, just because I have a ton of backed up content that I need to get out there and I just haven't been doing it. So what better way than to give myself an excuse? So if you want daily like little love tips, how to love yourself, just like style tips maybe, sometimes probably not as much, but a lot of mindset, self-love, self-care, stuff like that. If you want those daily tips, go to my website, kirstydempsey.com. It's probably linked on my page. I'm sure you can find it pretty easily. Go there, sign up for daily tips, and those will be coming straight to your inbox. But kind of got off track, lost my train of thought there. That's okay. We'll get back. So self-love. Yeah. So when I started my business, I wasn't giving myself that space. I didn't love myself. I mean, I loved myself, but I didn't really. I didn't want to allow myself that space to talk to myself, to check in with my feelings, to see if everything I was doing was in integrity with myself. As an online business owner, that's a huge thing. We have the power to create our own business. We have the power to send the messages we want to send. So why wouldn't we really tune in with ourselves and see what those messages are and really get a feel for what is it that I want to put out there? What's going to feel really good for me to put out there into the world? I was watching a video from Gary Vaynerchuk earlier. If you guys don't follow him, he's pretty cool. I mean, he's obviously very successful, but I really like his like no bullshit way of talking to people. It's great. And there was a video talking about how there's literally no better time than right now to leverage your passions and to take your passions and make a business based on that. Like talk about it, speak about it, write about it, right? Whatever feels good. Like there is no better time to do that than right now. But if you're not in tune with yourself, like you don't know. You don't know that, right? You're going to sit there and you're going to tell yourself, well, I'm not really passionate about anything. I don't know. You know, I don't really know nobody would want to hear what I want to tell. It's just like this wishy-washy language. Like, nobody else is going to, like, if you love yourself, you know that people need and want to hear what you have to say. And when I first heard this concept, it really triggered me, honestly. I thought it was crazy. It's like, nobody wants to sit here and listen to me talk about something. But I was sitting listening to other women talk about these same things, and I loved it. And I was like, this is so immensely helpful. And it's just like, well, if they're helping you, you have a totally different insight on this. You have a totally different vision of what this is. Like, the way you explain it is completely different. So if you're getting so much out of their message, what's to say that there's not one person, just one person in this world, that their lives would change based on what you have to say, right? I don't know where that came from. That was a little off topic too, but so true. So that's kind of what it is. Self-love is just giving yourself that permission, allowing yourself to be you, allowing yourself to follow your passions, allowing yourself time and space and that nurturing, right? Because we're humans. Like, we need to recharge sometimes. Sometimes we need rest. Sometimes we need exercise. And that's another thing. Something, I'll be honest here, something that I struggle with is like eating well. I really love my sweets. But that's another thing of self-love. Like, you can be indulgent without overindulging. And we're not really loving ourselves when we're overindulging, right? If we're consciously putting things into our mouth that we know are going to hurt us, that is not self-love, right? And that's definitely my biggest obstacle. I'll admit that. But it's all a part of self-love. Fitness, like everything you do is part of self-love. Like, how are you treating yourself? Anybody want to add in here? How are you treating yourself? Are you treating yourself well? Are you treating yourself like a queen? Like, that is such a big part of what I want to teach women every day is you have to treat yourself like a queen if you want to be treated like a queen. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Hi, Katie. I'm so glad you're here. So I just said you have to treat yourself like a queen first if you want to be treated like a queen. Okay? Because if you're treating yourself like shit and everybody sees that, they're going to do the same thing. They are. It's just, that's how it's going to happen. It's the energetic message we send. We're saying, I'm a big piece of shit. Treat me like a piece of shit. I don't know. And then if we're like, I mean, you see it every day. I guarantee if you walk down the street and you look at the people on the street, you have that like innate feeling of like who they are and how they are, you know? It's just, I mean, maybe not I'm super empathic, so I think that might be a gift like really empathic people have, and just even moderately empathic people. But I really honestly think like everybody in the whole world, like we can walk down the street and see somebody and we know, right? So that's really, in an essence, is self-love, is treating yourself like we always hear, treat your neighbors like you would want to be treated. But honestly, treat yourself like you would want to be treated. Pretty simple, but we don't all do that. And I didn't used to do that. I mean, I didn't treat myself like shit, but I didn't treat myself like a queen, right? Like, I wouldn't allow myself that 5 minutes in the morning to meditate because I had to go make breakfast for everybody else. I wouldn't